Today we're working with an 8-year customer. We thought it'd be fun to walk you through the progress that Devin and Amira have made on their property, and then show what we're doing today. This one will be different and fun. Let's get started.
We're gonna probably plant grass back here.
This is the first time we've met Devin and Amira. We're working by their creek at the very back part of their property. And they had just recently purchased the property and wanted to try to get it cleaned up a little bit so they could at least see this creek and maybe do a better job of maintaining it. Of course, these are the days when all we had was little Johnny, so he had to overachieve. We ran out of daylight on our first visit, and yeah, we could see some progress, but we had a lot more to do. I had found this brush mower for $400 on Facebook Marketplace at the time. Don't think it had been used very much. And I thought it was amazing how well it could clean up this area. And back then, Devin was young and energetic, and I was thoroughly enjoying my new Artilian grapple. And this scene pulling up a post, but I had taken the other side grapples off so I could dig better with it. We tilled the area and seeded it. Got it looking pretty good. I don't think we have recent pictures, but it still looks pretty good. Now here's the back of their house in 2019. Let's take a moment to study this. First, notice the retaining wall, big bushes on the left and the hard to see one on the right side, big tree right there in the middle, all of which are going to be removed. Well, I'm excited to use my brand new 2038R and 270B backhoe to get this big bush taken down here. And check this out, the first generation of the precision grapple. It was already amazing, as you can tell then, but with a few more revisions, we got it opening even wider and built a little stronger. We took out the bush and the small stuff on this side, but we left the big silver maple for someone else. A little bit more than we felt comfortable trying to deal with, at least at that stage. Instead, we took Vinny, who was brand new at the time, our very first one, and knocked the sharp edge off here where the retaining wall was. Christy wasn't an expert yet, but she was getting close. It looks like this is the very moment I broke that white pipe. I don't even remember the story on that. At this point, I assumed we were probably about finished with Devin and Amira. I thought we had this sloped as good as we could do it. We'd put some fertilizer on here, and then later we seeded, again with Vinny. We've got the slope about as gentle as we can make it, given the situation here. And while they had mentioned some big remodeling ideas, we weren't really sure how serious they were. Well, it turns out they were serious, and the next time we visited, yep, here it is, and year and a half later, they have added on to both ends of the house. They built a large garage on this end, and if you'll notice, it's much higher elevation than the surrounding land here. So they had some fill dirt brought in, and we're working here with Johnny too to spread that out a little bit. On the other side, beyond the tractor there, is a huge master bedroom suite. This addition is going to be a real value to them, and it's located in Carmel, Indiana, where large lots like this are not easy to find, and should they need to, the housing market will easily support this larger addition. We published this episode in August of 2022, and while it showed off what Johnny 2 could do to move a lot of dirt fast, it had kind of an incomplete feel to it because we didn't get it seeded. I didn't think we had enough fill dirt to bring the backyard totally up to the desired grade. And so we kind of just left the project a little bit in limbo, at least in my opinion. Meanwhile, Devin and Amira kept having trouble with contractors. This was a very difficult time, and they kept encountering contractors who made promises and then, well, didn't deliver. In this case, if I remember correctly, they needed to increase the size of their septic line, and something went wrong, so we got the call. And then, in 2023, we came back to level that off after it had all settled down. I'm not sure we have any pictures of the front of their house earlier, but what a dramatic improvement they've made to it as well. We got this leveled off and seeded, and we worked just a little bit, I think, in the backyard, but not much, and nothing on video in 2023. It's been a long time since we've been at this property, maybe even 2 years. The customer that we've been working with here, they had a lot of other stuff going on. They were adding on to their house over here. Actually adding to both sides, as you saw. Meanwhile, they had had some more fill dirt delivered. And I decided to try to use the mini excavator rather than a Johnny to move the dirt this time. And it did work really well. I could place the dirt exactly where I wanted it. And yes, we did take up a concrete pad. I think Devin enjoyed some tractor time. I find that the blade on this mini excavator is about the best dozer that I have. And I'm not trying to say it's nearly as effective as a real dozer, but we make do with what we have. 2025 was a very difficult year for us, and I don't think it was very easy for Devin and Amira either. So we made no progress together on this project until early this spring when they found some more fill dirt. I think you can kind of tell by looking that we're beginning to get a decent slope here. It's not looking quite as steep and difficult to deal with. I'm using the same approach as before. I'm using the bucket to put the dirt roughly where I want it, and then I'm going to come along with the blade to smooth it out. This is the most difficult area to deal with over here, right next to the property line. We don't have a lot of room, so it's just going to be steeper here. I don't really think we have much of a choice. We could potentially remove a bit more of this brush here, but it's providing a nice natural border fence, I guess you would say, between the two properties, so kind of hate to do that. Now they got several more loads of dirt after this, and I made another trip with the mini excavator to level those out, or at least kind of level them out. It was so muddy on that day that I left it in pretty poor condition. And unfortunately, that's what Vinny is starting with today. So you're caught up on all the background. Today we're going to try to get this knocked down and seed at least half of it, a little more than half of it, and we'll explain why in a minute. Some of the most recent soil that we got looked pretty good. It might even have some topsoil. And if the weed growth from just a few weeks ago when I was there is any indication, we shouldn't have any issue getting grass to grow. I ask a lot out of this power rake. I don't worry about rocks. I don't worry if the ground is really uneven and rough when I start on it. I just assume that the power rake's going to be able to knock it down and make it smooth. And look here, it comes through for me time after time. Now that's as far as we're going to seed in this trip, but I think it's worthwhile to knock the rest of it down so they can at least walk on it easily and, well, we can get around on it for our future project. I'll go crosswise now, first starting right up next to the house and working my way down the hill. This thing is amazing in just one pass. It's hard to believe. I mean, I left this really rough with the excavator, and that's because it was so muddy I could hardly even get around in here. I at least got a few truckloads of soil spread out kind of roughly with the excavator off camera one day, and yeah, it was pretty rough when we started here, but just one pass makes it bearable. And they had here, I didn't realize it, 1.3 inches of rain day and a half ago. Wow. So this is way too wet to work with the tiller. We brought tiller and a tractor, but it's way too wet to work with a tiller, but I think we might be able to get it seedable here with the power rake. So here's that steep part. After the first pass, I did have some, I'll call them waves, along the face of the slope. The power rake had leveled up and down, but I needed to kind of go crossways here to get rid of some of those waves. You can see a little one there. There's a hole where I stopped and a hump in front and behind the tractor. Simply going back and forth would get rid of those humps, but I can accelerate the process by dragging backwards and then just kind of leaving a little bit of a pile there. There's a lot of little tricks with this power rake, but it's an unbelievable tool. I know they're expensive, but if you do much of this type of work, you just can't afford not to have one. It's looking a lot better now. And from this angle, one can kind of realize just how much soil they've added. That garage door that you see on the right hand of the picture is further away from the house than the old maple tree was. And yet, even with all this extension, they still have a very large backyard. I don't really know if there is an end to the benefits you get with a power rake, meaning I could go over it and over it and over it, and it just gets better with each trip. I usually just keep going over it until Christy is so bored that she doesn't know what to do with herself, and then I realize it's probably time to quit. Time to move on to the next step, fertilizer.
What you got there, Tim?
9-12-6 biosolids. For some reason, I'm not as interested in putting my fingers in this.
No, and I'm glad you don't have smell-o-vision. It does not smell very good.
Urea, diammonium phosphate, composted poultry manure,
Ooh.
muriate of potash, and biosolids. Something like that.
I'm fertilizing really heavily since I know this is subsoil. I'm going to put 100 pounds of this on just this half, or maybe it's close to 2/3 of the area we've been working. Now for the seeding, I find that the Ventrac aerator seeder that we have gives us a much better stand than that wood seeder we've been using. And I believe the reason is simple. Poking these holes is allowing the seed to get down into the ground deeper. The wood seeder just puts it on the surface, and we just don't see it work as well. We might get it to come up, but it doesn't root in very well. What we see behind this seeder is that we get little spots of grass. Every spot there's a hole, comes up a nice tuft of grass. I'm no expert, but it's never made sense to me to leave grass seed right on top of the ground. And our experience is proving that to be true. Now, our biggest mistake on this project is doing this in July. It's already one of the hottest days of the year when we're planting this, and it's not going to get much better. So Devin and Amira are going to work really hard to water twice a day, knowing that we've chosen a horrible time of year to plant grass seed. Another challenge we'll likely see is a lot of weeds. I didn't till this up, right? I just used the power rake, and so you can see some weeds right there that have not been dislodged. So yeah, there's going to be a weed issue, and we can't do anything about it until the grass gets up good, and then we can spray. In spite of all those challenges, I think this has a good chance. By the way, I really like the slope. Looking at it from this angle, I think we did a pretty good job on that. We tried to get it flat right up by the house so they had some flat area to walk right around the house, and then have a gentle slope off as far as we could. Now, the one last trick we're going to use to try to get grass to come up is applying straw. Now, I asked them to get straw, but I didn't expect them to get this, what do they call it? Chopped straw. And it looks like it's going to work fabulous. I've never even seen this before. Devin's got daughter Amina, who wasn't even born the first time we visited, helping to spread. And the straw is supposed to have tack built in it. When it's watered, it's supposed to stick to the ground and not blow away like regular straw would.
Yeah, now go downwind, and it's blowing back, see? We really don't need it down here where the shade hits a good bit.
Is that helping?
The fan? Oh yeah. It's a lot cooler.
I first showed you this cooled vest in December of last year. Yeah, not exactly when we want to use a cooled vest, is it? Well, it's over 90 today, and it's wonderful.
It's what everybody needs on days when it's 90 outside. I'm trying to get the thing on your back. There you go. Yeah, you stay in the shade and let him do the sun. He's got the vest on.
I wanted to show the vest earlier, but the company was getting some modifications done via suggestions that we and others had made. The updated ones are just now coming in. Turnwear.com, TERNWEAR.com. Use code TTWT for 5% off. I mentioned that we were only going to seed about half of this area, and, well, here's why. Devin and Amira have yet another improvement planned for their backyard. This is the rendering, but it's a DIY in-ground pool. And yep, we're going to get to help with it, hopefully soon.
Well, I don't have a tractor anymore. I've lost my tractor, and I think we're about done here anyway, so I guess that'll be the end of today's project. We've got the grass down, going to leave Devin with some of the rest of the straw laying. And Amina's going to take the tractor to the trailer for us. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
For this reason, I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name.
Good job. Got the right shoes for it, too.
You're good at this. You're doing great.